What makes you think that I'm an answer if you ain't mine? Even if you
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the SNEEK and GEEK special. I have Dasia back with me again. It's Friday, so we got to bring her on. Today we got a couple of topics, a couple of serious topics. We're going to talk about investigations in the workplace, starring Riot Games in the NFL. Amber Heard has quit Hollywood, and we're going to talk Ezra Miller. We're going to do a video reaction in our dating segment of the show. But Deja, go ahead and tell everybody how you doing.
How y'all doing today? It's nice to be back.
You
It's
sound
nice to be
fake
back.
as a motherfucker. I ain't even gonna. You sound fake. You sound like you doing like a virtual interview.
When I'm at work. How do you want me to talk?
We want you to talk like you. This motherfucker. Hello. How you guys doing today? Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit, man.
What's up?
Never mind. Go back to what you were just.
No. On a serious note, though, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Thank you, Trey, for bringing me back. I'm ready to get into these topics that we're going to talk about today. I think we're going to find some very interesting things being said on a serious note.
Okay. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, is we are celebrating 5K Trey. You know what I'm saying? You know what 5K Trey is? Damn, it is Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, I'm celebrating Cinco de Mayo. I'm lost, but
Cinco de Mayo, and I've hit 5K subs on
we should
YouTube.
have had margaritas. We should have did like a shot today.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I wish you would have said something.
I know. I wasn't thinking. So
5K subs, ladies and gentlemen. We have officially hit 5K subs. I want to we started in August. I kind of talked about this on yesterday's show. We started in August. I had no idea that I was going to have this level of success. You know what I'm saying? You try to keep your expectations a little bit high, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You start dreaming, but I didn't think 5,000. And what has it been? It's almost been, because like what? It'll be a year in August, so it's May. It's been 9 months. Yeah. So it'll be a year in August, and we've hit 5K. I'm really excited about that. However, 5K subs does not mean ultra success in a way. Because like I told y'all, there are people with less subs than I do whose videos are performing a little bit better. So we're going to continue to hustle. We're going to continue to diversify the content. We're going to continue to bring you good conversation and all of that. But I just wanted to make sure we do that. I did want to do like a 5K celebration thing. I'm thinking about doing that on Monday.
that'll be fun.
I just don't know what to do.
We'll figure it out and come back to you guys.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump into our first topic of today, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so yesterday we found out the NFL is facing investigations over hostile workplace allegations. Let's see. We talked about this yesterday, guys, on the show about women in the workplace. Now, of course, at the end, there's this case about, racism or whatever the case may be with the former coach of the Miami Dolphins. I forgot what his name was. But we ain't focused on that right now. But what we didn't talk about yesterday is something that I just found out, honestly, this morning, was Riot Games just compensated over 1,500 women for gender discrimination in the workplace. Over 1,500 Riot Games and hundreds of Activision Blizzard workers are receiving compensation after companies settled lawsuits for gender discrimination, workplace harassment, and other serious grievances. As reported by Axios, the new details come by the way of court filing by Russ Consulting, which managed the settlement process on behalf of the claimants. Back in 2021, Riot Games settled a class action gender discrimination, agreeing to pay former and current workers compensation from a pool of $100 million.
Jesus.
First, so in the context of gender discrimination, workplace misconduct when it comes to women, first of all, what is your initial reactions to it, and have you ever experienced discrimination in the workplace or been, had any misconduct, any sexual misconduct in the workplace against yourself?
Actually, yes, I have. I actually was working at a warehouse. This was about a year ago. I was a forklift operator. I was the only female forklift operator, so I'm attractive as well. So I got a lot of head. It was only males in there, and I was the only female. So a lot of men would come up to me and try to talk to me, but a lot of times they would make certain advances towards me. Like I had this one guy, he would hug me, but you could tell the hug was more like usually
You
like
trying
friends.
to cop, nigga
Friends
trying to
would,
cop a feel.
yeah,
You know what
friends
I'm
will
saying?
usually do something like this, but
Uh-huh.
like he's more of like touching lower and stuff like that, or he'll say little stuff like, "Yeah, you can tell me I'm pretty and I'm cute and stuff," but he had a wife by the way, but he'll just make certain advances that I didn't like, or a lot of times also as a female forklift operator at another warehouse, I got discriminated just because I was a female forklift operator, and a lot of men didn't like that. For whatever reason, they did not like that they see me on the machines, and I ended up leaving that job within 2-3 weeks. They actually let me go, and they didn't know why. It was no real reason on why they actually let me go. It was, oh well, you're a temp, so we don't really need you anymore. Yeah, you do need me. You need me. And I just find it funny that it was a lot of complaints going on. So I can see where this could be a big thing. A lot of women don't talk about it like me. A lot of this stuff, you're my friend, you didn't even know this. So, it's a lot of stuff we choose not to talk about because sometimes we find it minor, but I can see where it can start to escalate and stuff like that.
So, have I experienced? I haven't experienced any racial discrimination. If anything, the only thing racially charged that I've experienced in the workplace, I actually had a manager when I was working at Floor and Decor who was black. He was my ops manager, and when it came time for me to get a promotion, he actually didn't want to give me a promotion, and the store manager was white, and he was the one that was like, "Nah, go ahead and give him the promotion." So, uh, you know, I guess. But as far as sexual, so I've always been a person that's been very, 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 very careful because I experienced something earlier on in high school where there was a chick, right? Ninth grade, PE class. There was this chick. She was light skinned and she had some. I'm just gonna say it. She had some big ass titties for a ninth grade girl. I'm sorry. Like she had
What grade was you in?
ninth grade.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sorry for a ninth grader. She did. She had during that time she might have had like C cups. I think that's what it is.
I forgot.
Nah, they were big. They were bigger than that.
Then
But
it
they
had to
wasn't.
see.
They wasn't. They damn sure were no D's. Couldn't have been no. I don't know.
It had to be.
Either way, the point is she took. So she liked me, but I didn't. I wasn't able to compartmentalize that during the time because I was in ninth grade. She took my phone. I had a little Metro PCS phone during that time, and she put it in her damn chest. And she run around and she's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. So I'm sitting over here stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, I ain't going out like no bitch. You feel me? Like, I ain't going out like no bitch. So I decided, after she ran around with my phone in her chest for about 30 minutes, I went in her chest and got my phone. I ain't caught no feel. You know what I'm saying? I just went right on in there and got my phone. And then she gave me this really shocked look like, and then ran away. And then at that point, I was stuck because I felt like, oh, shit, she finna report my ass. And so that entire school day, I was like in every class and every period just stuck in class.
Waiting
like,
just to hear
just wait, yeah, just waiting,
You
waiting.
come down to the old
Exactly.
man.
So she never went and told, obviously. But from that day forward, I knew I would never let another female put me in a situation like that ever again. So when it comes to workplace, I've personally never been in that position to where I felt like somebody felt like I did something to them. But I have seen some things on both sides, but more on women. More on women as far as inviting certain behaviors. I remember there was one manager at Floor and Decor. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know where he is today. But
Hope he ain't watching this.
he was a white dude, and that man was wild. Like I remember he would be talking to the girls, like on the sales floor, talking to them about certain stuff, and then he'll look over at me, he go, and we talking about an old dude, right? And and I'll never forget. The manager was white as well. There was this black girl there, and she definitely had like triple D's. She had some. And then like she
You
walked
a titty
out.
man?
Huh?
You a titty man?
Okay. I'm not. She definitely had triple D's, and she walks out of the break room. This is the store manager, and then one of the managers was like, "God damn, she got some big ass titties." And then the store manager, yeah, he said a lot of shit, and the manager was like, "Yeah, that's why I hired her because she got a big rack." And I was like, so we know. Here's the thing.
I'm not surprised.
Right. When you put men and women in a place together, it's gonna be some some sexual friction. You can't stop it.
That's why they have dating in the. That's why they make the rule about not wanting you to date in the workplace.
But it don't
it's
matter
gonna
because,
it's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, it's
secretly, whatever.
like M.A. Udoka. Are you familiar with M.A. Udoka?
No.
So M.A. Udoka. Let's see if we can pull up M.A. Udoka. First of all, spelling this nigga's name. All right. Oh, there it is.
Thank you.
M.A. Udoka was the
Oh, is that her ex? That's not her ex.
Nia Long's ex.
Okay.
M.A. Udoka was the head coach of the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
And he had relations with several female employees, which is against company policy. This is a man who is a head coach of 30 one of the 30 highly coveted jobs in the NBA. And he risked it all for some ass at work. So how can you expect? And then here's the thing: he got fired, but nothing happened to the women, and they were willing participants. So when you talk about the NFL riot games, my question to you, I'm going to present this idea to you, and I want you to tell me what your initial reactions and do you agree? I'm going to present an idea to you, and you're going to tell me whether it's true or false, and why. This over focus on bringing women into the workspace in corporate America has created a toxic environment for both genders in order to be able to thrive in businesses, and it's just that.
But let me get this right. You're saying bringing women into the work environment, bringing them to work. It's actually toxic. Us working together. It's toxic.
I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about just any job. I'm talking about jobs where it's historically primarily men. Like obviously, you want women in nursing.
Kind of like the warehouse situation.
Yeah. So it like you get women in the warehouse where typically it's men in there, and then the moment, like I'll even give you a prime situation. When I was working at Comcast. Well, first let me let you answer that first.
Okay. I want to say false.
Okay.
And I guess the only reason why I really say false is because it really shouldn't matter. I know what you're gonna say because it's always gonna be a little friction, but it really shouldn't matter. My gender. It really shouldn't matter if I'm a female or a male or whatever, wherever I want to work at. I feel like I should be able to work there. So you should do your job. Cause let me ask you this. So I'm a female. Say primarily it was men, right? We're gonna use the warehouse because that's what situation I was in. We are in the warehouse, and like I said, most forklift operators are males. Okay, so now me being a woman, I come in, you would consider it to might be some type of friction, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So what if it wasn't me? You replaced me. It was a gay man, a feminine gay man.
What's the question?
I'm saying, what's the difference?
The difference is the men in there aren't attracted to men. Presumably, I mean, perhaps there's maybe a
secret society.
Well, maybe there's a gay man in there that might, you know what I'm saying, become interested, or maybe somebody's on a DL. I don't know. But for the most part, it's not gonna be a distraction. I'm not worried about that being a distraction.
My point is a lot of men. My point on that is you have a whole group of men, okay, who's in here, so they're getting distracted by me. There is a chance they could get distracted by that man, and it's not because they want to do it. They're not because they're attracted to him, but just the fact that maybe they don't want that in their workspace. A lot of straight men, and I'm just being a lot of straight men wouldn't prefer to actually work. Okay, or like even if we're talking whether it be gay or a transgender, something along that line. I actually worked at another warehouse where it was a mixture of women and men, but now this transgender came on our line, and it's like it was just completely different. It was completely different when she came on.
Different how?
Like they just acted funny, like they acted like it was a distraction to them that she was there.
Well, as if I was an employer, I would say, well, that's a you problem. It's not preventing you from doing your job.
So wouldn't this be a you problem? This shouldn't prevent you from doing your job?
So the problem, you're right. It would be a you problem, but it's on everybody because the thing is, You don't know, and this is the crux of the problem. We now live in a matriarchal society where women, the way of the woman is the right way. Whether it's right or wrong, the way of the woman is right. So a woman can come in and say and do anything. Like, I'll give you a prime example. A Marvel executive was recently fired from Marvel Studios. She had been with them since 2015. Her name is Victoria Alonso, and she has been a problem. Her job is VFX. Marvel's VFX has been garbage for the last few years. Now, if any man was on that job and the VFX was that bad for as long as it was, you would be fired. But they understand optics.
The women is getting they're getting more lenient.
Yeah,
more lenient on
right. It's not good optically to fire a woman, especially like somebody like Victoria Alonso. Especially she's a woman, she's a lesbian woman, and she's a woman of color. So it's like you fire her, and the first thing she did was, I'm taking Disney to court for discrimination, for gender discrimination.
Now that's the problem. That's when women, and I get what you're saying, but women, certain women, not all women out there. Some of us are good. They're taking that.
Well,
to their advantage.
Hold on. Before you, it's not about good or bad. It's business. Because if in the shoes of a woman, if I can literally give myself some extra security just by playing the victim, I'm gonna do it. Like I've been.
Yeah, but that's crazy.
It's crazy, but it is what it is. Men do it too. Like let's not. I'm not trying to paint this narrative like men are in the workforce are just like at the top. It's very cutthroat. Niggas do shiesty shit to get to.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a female and I'm pretty shiesty. I just did some shiesty stuff in the workplace. Nothing bad, but I do want to tell you, it's real quick. So basically, I have sometimes I tend to be late, okay? So I work the morning shift 6 to 2, and I had to relieve this person from overnight on Sundays. But I was being late and it was affecting them from going to their job. But I knew that I was only getting 32 hours and I wanted 40 hours. And she came to me and she said, hey, if you don't start being on time, I'm gonna have to let go of this day on being my shift. And I know that's gonna hurt Dean, but in my head, I seen that as an opportunity. Well, let me be late one more time. I was late one more time. She was gone. Now I got 40 hours because now I worked the overnight shift. And I knew what I was doing. If she would have never told me that she was going to leave, I would have came on time and would have just, tried to be on time. But now that I knew that was an opportunity that could have opened up for me.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying nobody's perfect. I just, we all do shicey stuff. But I'm just saying they're going too far. I mean, that's not as far as you going in discrimination.
I'm really talking about worse stuff than that. You talking about being late. I'm talking about at the top of corporate America. It's some really men do shicey stuff to other men as well. So it's not just I'm not trying to pound women for doing that. What I'm saying is it's creating a long-term effect to where it's like, okay, if I'm operating a business that's primarily men, but my ESG scores say I gotta hire so many women, and then women come in and let's be honest, they're not really as qualified for the job as some of the men that I interview, but to reach my ESG scores, I gotta hire them, and then they come in and they create a row with the man, and now every 3 months I gotta fire a dude because you know what I'm saying, he took some choosing signals wrong and he thought it was this, or she changed her mind. Like, it's so many situations that happen. We talking about these gender discriminations. It's hard to define what is discrimination because here's the problem. I could absolutely see discrimination against women in the workplace, but you can't get around it. It's like if I get too close to you, I'm gonna get me too. If I avoid you, it's gender discrimination.
Well, no. Now on that level, no, it just depends. It just really depends on how you go about it. I wish I would have showed you this video, but that's kind of going to, like you said, in the workplace. Like, okay, for example, this dude, he's the boss. She had it recorded him, but he was finna fire her. He was gonna fire her all because I guess they were sleeping together or whatever like that, but nobody knew. But he was gonna get ready to fire her because she had a boyfriend now or something like that. And she knew what the reason was, but he tried to have fake proof that she really wasn't doing what she was supposed to be doing in the workforce. But until she recorded him, and then then it came out, then he was just, then he came out and was telling the truth and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna hold you. Situations like that literally happens all
I agree, but here's the thing. How can I, if I'm an owner of the business, right? And let's say that's my manager, how am I supposed to police that situation, right? He's trying to fire you because he's saying, oh, she's not performing up to this and that standard. And then she's saying, well, no, he's trying to fire me because we were having a relationship and now I have a boyfriend and he's jealous about it. How am I to know who's telling the truth? I'm not in y'all text conversation.
Because that was her point. That was her point she made. Like, she was afraid that she wouldn't have enough to prove it. So she went in there when he was about to have a meeting with her and he was recording. And she was recording, and then he came out and he said it. He said, well, why can't we just continue to do what we've been doing? Like, he basically came out and told on himself. And my biggest thing is, you can get you can have a professional relationship with your workers, male, female, it doesn't matter. But sometimes men, they do too much. Like, they just
no, I agree. I agree with that. And in
but
that
women
case,
do too, because we be
that's what I was just gonna say, bro. Like I know, especially when it comes to management positions, I know I've seen it. Women absolutely positively put themselves in position to be around dudes who are in places of power and jobs. Women literally chase careers to get there. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of these, Molly Querum. You think she did all of that just so she could get? You think she got up to where she was? Molly Querum is the female host on First Take with Stephen A.
Okay.
You think she did all that just so she could be? No, she did all of that so she could get with a nigga like Jalen Rose. You don't know who Jalen Rose is?
No, I don't. But you saying she did all of that so she
Former
could,
basketball
so she could
player.
get with someone like that?
Yeah, a lot of back in the day, a lot of parents were sending their daughter to college so they could find a man, not necessarily so they could get. Nowadays, it's not necessarily the case. Women are they don't want to go to college to find a man because it's not a finished product. Why go to college and find a man where I can go and work for ESPN and be surrounded by former athletes and get with one of them?
Okay, I can see where that makes sense.
That's Jalen Rose. And so now he divorced her, but what I'm saying is women know what they're doing. Women literally think their money like a lot of women today, like average women, think that their money translates to them having a really top tier guy when in reality it don't. So we know why you're doing it. You're doing it because you're going to get all of this money, or you're chasing these careers because your expectation is to get a man who's up here even when you don't qualify for it. So we know that.
That's 50-50. How about we say that's for some women?
I mean, yeah, you can. Obviously, I'm speaking in generality.
I started to agree with you when you was like, you use not really use, but like you said, you surround yourself around these important men. They're gonna like you. You flirt with them enough, then you start moving up.
But it's not about just. First of all, it's not about just the pure intent to go there and do it. This is where you're going, and you're going to be surrounded by men, regardless. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be surrounded by certain people. Relationships develop, and what I'm telling you is, women they have a certain level of control in the workplace because nobody wants to have their company in the headlines with these type of allegations. I give you when I was working for Pike Engineering last year, if you go into their office, it's uptight than a bitch. You go in there, every little person that got their own personal office is all women, and then all of the men are out here doing the hard. And you're like, something ain't right here, because this is an electrical company. Mm-hmm. The men are doing the actual work.
Right.
So how are all of these women got their own personal office? They got these certain positions, and then my manager, I was an auditor. My manager was a woman, and as I was getting hired, I was kind of talking to some of the guys. The guy that was the manager before left, and they were kind of uptight about the fact that she was the manager and she had never done the job. Like, we were auditors and she was the manager of the auditors, but she never audited.
Okay, I mean that. Okay, I can understand what you're saying. So I would think that was a dumbass decision.
Well, but here's the thing. I mean, I talked to somebody. I don't know. I didn't work with her long enough, but I talked to somebody about it, and they was like, man, it sounded like they had faced a lawsuit or something like that, where discrimination against women, and so they overcompensate and they put women in these positions. And it's like, listen, if you're capable of doing the job, then do the job. Right. But my thing is, when you overcompensate and you make it a point to put women in this, you giving them control, because you can't fire them like that unless they do something blatantly obvious, right?
I should have did gender discrimination towards my last job. And he fired me.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
why
But
I'm
see,
the
there's a
only
lot.
female forklift operator.
That's what I'm saying. See, you probably could have had a case. See, the mere allegation. A lot of companies are because if you heard Riot Games, they settled out of court. They didn't take it to trial. They just said, listen, let's just go ahead and pay them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these companies, they settle out of court. Disney with Victoria Alonso, they said that she violated her contract, her no compete clause, because she was working for Disney while also advertising a film she did for another company. That's grounds of termination. But she still said, I'm gonna take y'all to court. And instead of letting it go to trial, they just want to pay her off. Go to bed, man. Chopper, go to bed. But yeah though, and so what I'm saying, I guess the way that I'm trying to, it's a tough environment. You've heard all the stories about men in the workplace after the Me Too movement, being afraid to even be on lunch with women. There are companies that reported that many male leaders were no longer having like one-on-ones with women without representation there. Uh, uh, there's like business trips that in certain companies women aren't invited to no more. But then you open yourself up to discrimination. So
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, majority of this really, I really feel like, like I said, this wouldn't even probably be an issue if it really wasn't men out there that was actually doing this type of stuff. If it wasn't men that was actually not, if this never would have happened, men knew how to just do whatever and women just do whatever, this wouldn't even be no issue right now. But you have men who actually did this, and all the women just did what shit.
Agree.
Just
Agree.
take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, there are men who take advantage of the situation, but I feel like you trying to absolve the willing participants in it, and that's where I feel like women have the powers, because you can be a willing participant and renege your consent. It's kind of like reneging consent. It's like, okay, I gave you consent for sex, but in the middle of the sex, I realized your dick was too small, and you know what, I don't really want to do this anymore. I told you to stop, but I low key didn't. Now I'm feeling bad about it. The next morning, I'm going to the police. So. I mean, but it happens though.
I know, but trust me, I know.
It happens, and so when you get jobs, you go into there, and the chick's been flirting with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he's in a management position, and it don't even have to be management. The thing is, she's flirtatious, he's flirtatious back. Some other moron thought, okay, well, maybe if I flirt with her, wrong, lawsuit.
Shouldn't like you.
You know what I'm saying? You don't. And here's the thing, women, you're a woman. So you can push back on this if you want, but women are emotionally volatile. Y'all are chemically different from day to day. Some more than others, but y'all are different day to day.
Yes, I actually agree.
You can be in love with a dude at your job one day, and then the next day you can't stand it. Especially in situations where you got a man at home. Let's keep it a bean. Everybody got their work husbands and wives. Let's keep it a bean. This is why a lot of dudes be like, listen, I want you to quit your job and come home and
work from home.
No, not work from home.
I'm
like
your only husband.
Nah, but for real, this is a real thing. If you infidelity in women shot up the charts when y'all entered the workplace, because you're entering.
We're seeing the better options out there.
Exactly. So it's like, especially in your job, you get dudes walking there all the time. Broke niggas, rich niggas, white dudes, black dudes, Hispanic, whatever the case may be. The options
have
are
whole girlfriends.
Exactly.
You know what? We actually witnessed what we were talking about.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So the one equation we know we can't get rid of is we can't get rid of the fact that men and women are going to interact with each other in ways that aren't conducive to a healthy workplace. The question is, how do I as an employer hire women, hire men, and create a workplace to where there's some sense of accountability? In my opinion, I've always said that when I started doing my films, that I was going to have a zero tolerance policy. I was going to have like, listen, everybody's going to sign a contract that they understand, or not a contract, a document that they understand that any workplace relationship will not be tolerated, and you're forfeiting your job if you do so.
On both parties.
On both parties. And so if I catch a woman flirting with a man, oh, you off, like, and but the thing is, how do you police that? Because I know women that literally talk like this. Like you can have your hands tied behind your back, and she's just touching off, and then dudes don't pick up on it, but let his girl be right there,
right.
And like she be talking, laughing, and then did she just touch my, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I see that.
With something that, like, now what you're talking about will be kind of hard to kind of do, and I only say that is because you do have different personalities, and now that you say, you know, about the touching and stuff like that, that's kind of me. I just did that. I was like, remember at work? You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, if that's, you're a more touchy person, or you, like, for example, I don't want to date everybody in the world. I flirt. I'm not, you know, I predominantly like men, okay? I flirt with women though. It's just I have a flirtatious personality though. You see what I'm saying? So for me, being in your work environment, I'll probably be out of there on the first day.
That's what
I'm like, Google.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's hard to police, because I feel like at that point, well, you can say zero tolerance, but then you'll be firing somebody every other day. Because like if
she's switching too hard, she gotta go.
but not just on the females, on the males too. Because if she communicates you in a way that makes you feel like, okay, she fucking with me. If the relationship is consensual, right? And y'all both able to handle like adults and keep it out of the workplace, then it's going and I don't know about it, right?
Which is very rare. Because it always, stuff like that, when you work with your boyfriends and your girlfriends and stuff like that, it's only for so long that you're going to be able to keep it without being in the workplace.
I don't know about
it. It be little stuff. Let me tell you something. I dated someone at my job, and I did not make it known that we were dating or messing around or anything. But little things naturally starts to change.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even the whole, I'm hugging, kissing on you, or you don't touch my man, nothing. It's not even those type of reactions. It's little stuff. People watch you at the workplace.
Yeah, they do.
You see,
they
so
do.
maybe
because I can see your reaction between, like, even if you try to hide it to the best. I've seen it before where y'all be kicking it and laughing and keying at work, and then all of a sudden y'all don't interact with each other. Y'all cool, but you know, at the end of the workplace, y'all go y'all separate ways, and y'all it's kind of like still, oh, they fucking.
Yeah.
That's what they.
Yeah, it's like, or yeah, like you said, or even at work, just say that usually you talk to this person a certain type of way, but you just little stuff you start to notice. Maybe the way that person look, because people be watching you at the workplace. That's how they found out I was talking to who I was talking to, because I wasn't even doing anything. They said it was the way that I would. It's not even the way I talk, because I talk to everybody the same. It's the way my facial expressions was. They could tell by my eyes. I said, what? But then again, I'm not gonna lie to you. I believe what they're saying, because if you start to pay attention, you're not going to, like, for example, we're friends, right? We act a certain way with each other while friends. But if we was to date, I'm pretty sure if we come back on here, they're gonna see the difference between if we were friends, co-workers, or if we were dating. You see what I'm saying? Or no?
Disagree, but
That's
disagree
crazy.
I disagree with that, but you know, that's a topic for another day. Either way, guys, y'all can let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I think this is a tough issue that you got to deal with on a daily basis.
For both parties.
How do you? I mean, companies are losing their best men at their job, and they're losing a lot of money. Just paying out women who are really coming to collect a check at the end of the day. I mean, and I ain't talking about just the check that you signed up to pay them.
Right.
I'm talking about you went in there, you said, you know, listen, he work a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You go on vacation every other month. You go on sick leave every other month. He working 80 hours. I got to pay him more. Lawsuit. And even if you don't have to pay them out, you still got to pay for attorney fees. That's why a lot of them settle out of court. It's going to be more expensive to fight it in court than it is to just pay them.
Yeah.
So then you got to run around with you hope to bury. If you're a company, if you're an individual, you got to fight it, because that's going to be attached to you. But if you're a company, you can use your connections to bury it in the news, like Riot Games. Ain't nobody talking about Riot Games right now.
I didn't even know about it until you said something.
That's why they released it on a Friday. If you didn't know, the companies tend to release bad news on Fridays because the weekend it'll get buried and then nobody's covering it. You know what I'm saying? Because most people want to be off.
I never paid attention to that.
Yeah, they release bad news on Fridays typically in the middle of the day towards the ends, because everybody's getting off, and then the whole weekend go by, and then hopefully on Monday nobody's talking about it.
Right.
So
something new gonna happen.
yeah. So, but that's that. So we're gonna move on, y'all. We stayed on that for a while.
It was a big topic though.
Yeah,
it was a big
for a while.
discussion. I think it was good.
Okay. Let's see. Guys, make sure y'all are hitting the like button. Make sure you're sharing the videos out there. Hey, for those of you who are big fans of the show, I got a lot of comments that ask, yo, like, I love your content. Why haven't you blown up yet? I don't understand why you haven't blown up like that. Guys, it's a process. However, if you really want to contribute in the best way possible, the best thing for you to do is to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. The notification bell is turned on to all. And when you're going to get all the videos, and when you get them, you're going to want to play them all the way through. Even if you're not interested in that topic that day, or maybe you already seen the topic, or whatever the case may be, play it all the way through. Just put the playback speed on ×2, hit the like button, and just let that thing. And what you're doing is you're driving up the watch time, and you're driving up the engagement. That's what pushes the videos out into the algorithm. That's what's going to allow us to grow. So if you want to contribute in that way, that's the best way to do it. But if that's too much for you to do and you still want to contribute, then you're more than welcome to hit Cash App or Venmo. The links are in the description.
And share. Yeah. Share with everybody. Even if they don't watch, just share.
Yeah. So all right, so we're gonna get into this goofball here. Ezra Miller.
I've never even seen him like this before, though. Like when I seen this picture earlier, I've always just seen him like the Flash on the movies. Never would have thought.
Let me see something. They can't say it's a fresh haircut. Make someone say.
What, Nick? What? This man gotta stay away from me. He had to stay away from me. What? What? Nick Cannon gonna be majority of the world. How did this man pull Mariah Carey?
Yo.
I'm not gonna play with him.
Yo.
Clown World.
Yo. First of all, he said, "How did this man pull Mariah Carey?" Probably because he ain't light skinned, bro. Let's keep it a bean.
Okay.
Let's keep this shit a bean, bro. Yo, Nick Cannon is a menace. This nigga is a menace. Okay, let me get back on task. All right, where was it? Where was it? Where were we? Is it in my bookmarks? Here we go. So we talked about yesterday on the show that the set designer for the film Ezra Miller, the film The Flash, they believe that the movie is going to make people forget about Ezra Miller's allegations. Now, we're going to go over some of the allegations that Ezra Miller faced. Ezra Miller has made headlines with a series of allegations and legal charges detailing increasingly concerning behavior. No, I'm just saying. You see that? They say they were arrested twice.
First of all, hold on. And then we just, real quick. This shit right here is the shit I be talking about. Real quick, my son asked me, he had to fill in, it was saying she, he, the pronouns. He was doing pronouns for school on his worksheet. This was this week. I can't make it up. And he said to me, it said, Jerry, it used the boy name. Jerry, da. And Mir said, do I supposed to use they or he? All I could do is just walk out the damn room. I didn't even tell him which one to use. I said, figure it out.
But my mentor swears up and down this isn't happening in schools. But whatever. So he was arrested and accused of multiple instances of physical assault, as well as brainwashing 18-year-old activist Gibson, Formula, Takata, Iron Eyes, and keeping them from their parents. In June, another allegation surfaced after a courthouse issued a temporary harassment prevention order against Miller on behalf of a mother and her 12-year-old child. Miller was charged with felony burglary in August, stemming from an incident where he allegedly broke into someone's home and stole bottles of alcohol. And Vermont police are also searching for a woman and her 3 children who neighbors said were living at Miller's farm in unsafe conditions over the summer. No news has emerged on whether the missing people have been located.
So they just gone. He out here doing movies.
So he went. So what Warner Brothers did was they had him go to therapy and apologize for it because they threatened to take the movie away from him. They threatened to can the movie, and this is why I say that mental health is some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
All the mental health issues that they claim he ain't got no mental health issues. He's behaving the way he's behaving because he's a member of the LGBTQ community, and there is no accountability for them whatsoever.
I didn't even know that.
Well, I mean that's the whole point. He can get away with whatever because the moment they threatened to take that movie away from him, he went to therapy, apologized, and he ain't had no incidents since. Now you take somebody like I don't know why. I don't know why I can't think of this man's name. I keep forgetting. Jonathan Majors. I keep wanting to call him Michael for some goddamn reason.
Yeah, he don't nothing like no Michael.
Yeah, you take somebody like Jonathan Majors who got one accusation, and they talking about communicating him from all of Hollywood. The thing I'm trying to illustrate here is that if you identify as non-binary, like a little Uzi Vert, you don't have to face no consequences. What do you think about that? True or false, or true or false, and why do you think so?
If you go by non-binary?
If you identify as anything other than what you actually are.
Ask me a question again. I'm sorry.
So it's not really a question. I'm presenting to you the idea. You tell me whether you think it's true or false. If you identify as non-binary, gay, lesbian, trans, whatever the case may be, there are limited to no consequences for you in this country. True or false?
I feel like that may be true. I'm listening to the question correctly. I feel like it's true. Are you asking me basically?
I'm basically saying that if you are a member of the LGBT,
you're not gonna get in as much trouble as if it was you.
Yes.
Yes, I feel like that's true. They get away with a little bit more things because, like you said, if you fired them, if you get on them, if it's for any reason, they're gonna hoot and holler. You did it because I was gay. Mm-hmm. So yes, I agree with you. It's kind of similar to the women thing, just a little bit. They in their own little box, and can't nobody mess with that box. As soon as you mess with that box, you hated that box. Mm-hmm.
So you said you haven't seen the Flash trailer, right?
I did not see the Flash.
Okay. I don't like him neither.
What? No, I don't like him. And I mean, besides me knowing all this new stuff about him today, I'm saying the other Barry played the Flash good. Like this, he's just too wow. Like that's not Barry. Like
I'm gonna be honest with you.
None of them is Barry.
I'm gonna be honest with you. What's
going on up there?
Right. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. CW. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Here's the reason why. For one, Grant Austin, that's his name. He looks more like Robin to me than the Flash. But he looks like.
I love me some Oliver Queen though. Hey, but no, pull up him in the Flash.
He got the incel chin.
Pull up him in the actual Flash outfit. We seen old dude in it.
He got the incel chin. Like, come on now. He looked goofy. He looked shrimpy. He looked, like the weekly episodes of The Flash to me just reminded me of Power Rangers. Remember
this one right there.
Like, look at bro, what happened to your chin, bro? Like, it just don't. I mean, if I have to give Ezra Miller anything,
I just don't like his face.
Ezra Miller looks more like the Flash to me than.
How about this? We could take his face and put his face and use his body. He just need to buff his body up.
It's the chin, bro. The chin. At least Ezra Miller has a square chin. My guy has the incel chin. You know the incel chin.
What the comic book Flash got? What type of chin he got?
Oh no, that's the incel chin right there. This one right? looked like somebody was trying to punch him in the face and missed low and just punched the chin in. Like,
I'm saying though, like, what chin does the original Flash have on the comic books? That's the question.
mean, you know, there's very many like iterations of the Flash.
The comic, because they're gonna just give us Barry Allen.
But you know they're gonna draw the most masculine version of the character. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that looks just like Barry Allen's chin to me.
How that chin is square as a mother.
No, it's not.
Square chin. Chin square. Chin square as hell. I'm just saying he like a little boy in the TV show. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, you win.
I'm not saying it's got to be perfect, but damn, give me somebody with a respectable chin. Yo, we gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Lord have mercy. Wilding out over here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get into Amber Heard. Guys, this is gonna be a quick one. We go to bed. Guys, this is gonna be a quick one. We just want to give y'all an update. Amber Heard quits Hollywood. She ain't had no choice.
Then she got Amber Heard from her.
Amber Heard has reportedly quit Hollywood and moved to Madrid. I can reveal that Heard has quit Hollywood and quietly relocated to Spain with her young daughter. Whatever. According to the journalist, a friend of hers said she's bilingual in Spanish and is happy there, raising her daughter away from all the noise. The pal also told the outlet that the 37-year-old, damn, she old. I didn't know she was that old. Actress made one day. Hold on. The pal also told the outlet that the 37-year-old actress may one day return. No, she won't. I don't think she is in any hurry to return to work or to Hollywood, but she will probably come back when the time is right for the right project.
Ain't no project.
Ain't nobody.
Nobody wants you in the movie. Ain't no project. I don't even remember what main movie was she even really in.
Aquaman.
I barely watched
Aquaman. And Aquaman. Hold on. Okay, Aquaman.
Oh yeah, because I don't know any of these other ones. I do.
Never heard of Gully. Never heard of London Fields. The Danish Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not watching none of those.
Now I know that she primarily was getting her gigs through. Like, what did she do to really qualify for Aquaman? Whatever. Anyway, we're gonna.
I don't know either, because that's 2018. When did all that stuff happen with Johnny?
2016.
Oh, well, maybe she got it because people felt bad for her.
Oh, yeah.
Because at that point in time, everybody thought that she was telling the truth. What?
Everyone was just having a good time, like normal stuff. So I just smiled, made a joke about how trashed the trailer got, and we had to get the manager, who started off furious that Johnny had wrecked the thing. And then he had this like black mesh not tank top, it was like a meshy kind of shirt on. And I remember he came into the trailer and looked around and was like, whoa, what happened here? Whoa. And Johnny had an exchange with him. And I remember watching this man be so charmed. It was just a kind of a surreal experience. And, it just went away. That just got fixed. We walked out of the trailer at some point. My dog stepped on a bee. We went to the vet.
Wait, Johnny at that point? Johnny. Because at that point, Johnny was just over it. He's just over it at this point.
Yo, Johnny was so cool throughout the entire. He was just straight faced, like, but I know in his head.
Look. What drug she on?
What the fuck is going on?
We actually went to the location after that, and then eventually went home. And
did you watch the trial? I mean, did you pay attention to what was going on?
I watched the trial as it was going on.
So were you conflicted in the beginning, or was you on Johnny?
I was always on Johnny's side.
So I discovered it in 2016 when the allegations first came out. Let me tell y'all something. Like I tell y'all, I'm unbiased in the situation. Anytime I hear allegations and they don't sound right, I'm like, You what? Like I even told y'all with Jonathan Majors when the allegations first came out, the first thing I thought was, oh, that nigga is guilty. Like I don't have like I'm not biased, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Until more details come out, he just sounded guilty to me. Until the other details came out, I'm like, now wait a minute now. But yeah, no, I follow that whole situation.
Johnny didn't do that stuff. You know why? Because me and Johnny like this.
Right. All right, we're gonna get into our last topic, which we're just gonna talk about it for a second. Guardians of the Galaxy. Did you plan on going to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3? First of all, how do you feel about Marvel since Endgame? Did you watch Infinity War and Endgame? Or
yes, I watched all of those. Go to the theater to watch all of them. I spent my money on them.
Okay, what about after Endgame? What was the last Marvel movie you seen in the theater?
That's not a part of I say Xfinity, Lord Jesus. The Infinity War. I always do that. I can't remember. I know for a fact though I watched all of the
Yeah, but after Endgame there's been more movies. So
like what? I got bad memory. If you tell me like what?
Okay, so you had the Black Widow movie that came out.
Okay, I watched that in theaters and that was crazy.
It's garbage. Like
Wait, what?
she don't even. But you gotta forgive her.
Did you watch the TV
Do you know
show?
who Taskmaster is? What TV show? What, Agents of Shield?
No.
Oh,
You said Black Widow was ass.
yeah,
Wait,
the
no,
movie,
we talking about the same thing. Black Widow.
the Black Widow movie. Yeah, like
I'm not tripping. Disney had a TV show. Oh no. We talking about two different people, I think. No, I
what you
did
talking-
not see the Black Widow movie. I'm talking about with
Oh, you talking about the Scarlet Witch? You talking about WandaVision?
yes.
WandaVision. I like Wanda. A lot of people didn't like WandaVision for whatever reason. I liked WandaVision.
Some people tried to watch the movie without watching WandaVision and then
You
said the
talking
movie
about
was
the
ass.
Doctor Strange movie?
No.
There is no Scarlet Witch movie.
It is. It was. It bounced off of the TV show. That's
Yeah,
why you-
the Doctor Strange. That was the Doctor Strange movie. I just thought she's in the but it's not called Scarlet Witch. It's the Doctor Strange movie. She plays the villain in Doctor Strange, and it bounced off the TV show. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but still, people tried to watch that without watching WandaVision after they sat there and said blatantly.
No,
Watch
but no,
the
Kevin Feige.
WandaVision.
No, Kevin Feige said before the show ever came out that that you wasn't gonna have to watch the Disney Plus movies in order to watch the movies, and that was a lie. So that's his fault.
Yeah, because if you watch that movie, I had people ask me questions in the theater like, if you watch that movie and you didn't watch WandaVision, you're lost. Why is she doing it? They're like, bro, chill. Do you even know what's going on? I love
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. You like Doctor Strange?
I like Doctor Strange.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So luckily, guys, I've been hearing a lot of good things about Guardians of the Galaxy. I've heard from some very trusted people of mine that it's really good. And I'm hoping that the good ratings, the audience score is at a 96%, can good word of mouth and give it a good, because I'm telling you, if this movie flop,
I don't like the trailer.
you seen the trailer?
Part of it. I don't like it. I don't think it's gonna be as good as the other ones.
I mean, as good as the other
And
ones. I
really,
mean, the first
didn't
two
even know
were
she was coming back.
cool.
Did you watch it? The
What?
trailer?
Yeah, I seen the trailer. You didn't know who was coming back.
Amara.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you seen Endgame. You know, there's a different version of her. Gamora, you mean?
Yeah, Gamora.
Mhm.
What do
You really struggle with names.
Yeah, I do. At least I know I'm not lying. A different Oh yeah, it was a different version of her.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was.
it was.
So yeah, it's not. But she said this is gonna be her last time playing Gamora. So it is what
Why?
because I mean the MCU is falling apart. You know what I'm saying? She's probably over it. She said she signed up for one film and it ended up turning into multiple. So, you know, it is what it is. I like Gamora. But here's the thing.
She thought she died.
The box office projections for this movie isn't looking good. I'm hoping that because the argument, the thing here that we're trying to gauge is, are people having superhero fatigue, or is it Marvel fatigue, superhero fatigue, or is it that they've been putting out bad content? Because Ant-Man was garbage. Before that, She-Hulk was garbage. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was not great.
Wait.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't
was
good.
Well, to me,
It was. It was.
good.
It was good, but it wasn't like Marvel good. You get what I'm saying? Like Marvel is used to having hits. It didn't even make $1 billion. So
Damn, it did.
no,
But
they
it
haven't.
did.
They haven't had a movie.
Wait, so what about the one with WandaVision? Did it ain't do as good either?
I mean, it's hard to tell. It's a Disney Plus show, so it's hard to see how it performed.
No, I'm talking about the movie.
That's Doctor Strange. Yeah, it didn't. It did not do $1 billion. It did like close to 800 million.
Yeah, that
And
was good.
they haven't had a movie hit $1 billion since Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Spider-Man was good as hell.
That shit was good as fuck.
Did you watch the other one with the cartoon one with the Black Spider-Man, the multi?
Across the the Spider-Verse.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna hold you. I watched that all
that
the
was
time.
good. I'm not watching this one though.
What?
Well, I'm gonna watch it, just not paying to watch it.
Oh, the Galaxy. The
There it is, right across the Spider-Verse.
Well, that's why I ain't got no money.
Because they doing the whole trans thing, and I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing it. If you look at the video, there's like they advertising for trans rights. If you watch the trailer,
it's another one.
yeah, it's the new one coming out June 2nd.
Damn, why they do that? I feel like they're gonna mess it up.
But we're gonna see. But anyway, guys, that's been the show. We have gone for an hour. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. And that's it. We out. This has been a really fun live. We're gonna continue to innovate, continue to bring diversified content. And like I said, like I tell you all the time, we got big plans going forward. You just gotta stay patient with us and continue to contribute to the growth. All right, Dave, you got any message for the people before you head out?
Yes, my biggest message is to share, share, share. Like he said, if you want to contribute to anything, please share, watch, like, subscribe, word of mouth. Everything is going to help us be successful.
Right. So, all right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Happy Friday. Hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. All right. Deuces.